Let's build a do-it-yourself gesture-controlled robot using the Quadstore kit. The simple robot moves in the direction of your hand gestures. Prepare the chassis plate. Start by taking the acrylic base plate and carefully removing the protective film, clear or brown, from both sides. Mount the first motor. Insert one motor mount into the chassis base as shown in the video. Place the motor in the center of the mount and then attach the second motor mount on the opposite side of the motor. Insert one of the longer bolts through the motor mount and base and fasten it with a nut on the other side. Repeat this for the second bolt at the top to ensure the motor is tightly secured between the mounts. Follow the same process on the other side of the chassis to mount and secure the second motor. Once both motors are in place and firmly secured, insert the wheels into the motor shafts until they fit snugly. Now let's install the rear caster wheel. Move to the rear end of the chassis. Take a small screw and insert it through one of the holes. Use a hex nut on the other side to tighten it. Do the same for the second hole. Align the caster wheel in place and fasten it using two screws to complete the rear wheel assembly. And that's it. You've successfully assembled your 2WD chassis. Now that the 2WD chassis assembly is complete, let's move on to mounting the microcontroller PCB onto the chassis. Start by inserting screws into the holes as shown in the video and secure each one with a hex mount on the top. Repeat this for all 4 mounting holes. Once the hex mounts are in place, position the microcontroller PCB on top of them and fasten it using screws. That's it. Next, connect the motor wires. Insert the right motor wires into the D9 and D10 sockets and the left motor wires into the D5 and D6 sockets on the PCB. Note that the red and black motor wires are interchangeable. If your robot doesn't move straight, simply swap the wires in the sockets to correct the direction. Now, let's place the battery holder. Stick a piece of double-sided tape to the bottom of the holder and press it firmly onto the chassis base. This will keep it securely in place. Finally, connect the DC plug from the battery holder to the DC jack on the microcontroller PCB. Now, insert the NRF24L01 module into the appropriate slot on the receiver PCB if it's not already pre-installed. Next, connect the 9-volt battery to the battery holder. Insert the DC jack into the transmitter module and switch it on. Ensure that the LED on the microcontroller lights up. That's it. Your gesture-controlled robot is now ready to use. Turn on the switches on both the transmitter and the receiver to allow them to pair. Tilt the transmitter forward to move the robot forward, backward to move it in reverse, and left or right to make the robot turn in the same direction as your tilt. Fixing the issue. If your gesture-controlled robot doesn't move according to your tilt direction, you may need to swap some wires. If tilting forward makes the robot circle to the right, interchange the red and black wires in sockets 9 and 10. If it circles to the left, interchange the red and black wires in sockets 5 and 6. This adjustment should fix the problem. Congratulations! You've successfully built your gesture-controlled robot. The codes for both the transmitter and receiver modules are already pre-uploaded to the microcontrollers, so no extra steps are needed. However, if you'd like to refer to the code, you can find the download link in the description section below.